So with the lift kit I'm putting on this car, I really don't like these tires. That wheel's bent anyway, so screw it. But these are gonna look really stupid on this car. I need to get this lift done. These are gonna be badass on this. Yep, I like it. So I just got back from the tire shop picking these up from having them mounted and balanced. The 27s, I'm putting that on. It's time to get stupid. Is this the best place to jack the car up from? Absolutely not. It's a rather stupid place. However, that's all load bearing, so if I don't have to fight with that to put jack stands under the car, I'm not going to. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to fight it on the front, but that's a convenient spot. Stupid, but convenient. I'm only gonna have those under there to catch the car if the jack falls, because I don't trust Harbor Freight jack stands. And one of these days I'll get smart and I'll buy power tools. I highly recommend. They make your life so much easier. Normally you want to clean these up before you put a spacer on. I'm good. I went with hub-centric spacers because they self-center. Always want to put some Loctite on. Actually, lock riders probably work better for this. You don't put thread locker on these, you run the risk of them backing out. That ain't something that you want to have happen. Now the downside of this car having drum brakes in the rear is it's going to be a bastard to do the rear brakes on this car. Now, to do this smart, you're going to want to sand all that off. You want a nice clean mating surface. Always do it right. I am an idiot. Where did that? And make sure your lug wrench actually fits in there. Now I'm going to do this the absolute dumbest way possible. Just to see if I can clear them. Might go back and redo it later. We'll find out. Those are loose enough. That should be high enough. Good old Harbor Freight jack stands. Never trust them. And make sure you put the pin in them because they like to fall. With these particular spacers, and on the 94 Corolla, a 21 millimeter socket should fit. These are just a hair tight for the lug wrench. You're going to follow the same pattern that you had with your original wheel when you're bolting it on. That way you get a nice flat mating. You don't want these on there crooked at all. On anything like this, you're going to want star pattern. We got one chewy one, so I'm gonna have to probably snap the socket in there, smooth it out. Okay. joys of being a redneck with cheap tools. Nice scar all the way around the socket. But, oh well. Like I said, the joys. This is why I keep cheap tools around. So I can do stupid shit like that. And that's the dumbest way to do it. But realistically, this is just to make sure I can clear the strut in the back. With this piece of glory. And it doesn't. Nice. But that's okay, I have an equally stupid idea. You don't ever want to stack spacers. This is a working theory. Just a working theory. And that would clear, barely. That would just barely clear. Now, I went ahead and double stacked the spacers and threw the wheel on just to check clearance. And in the back and on top, it clears. The front, just a hair tight. Just a hair. Now the real question is, does it clear the strut in the back? Not really. Which means I need a bit more than that. Crap. I was right, this car looks fucking cool. Oh, I need to get spacers for the front because it doesn't quite clear. It clears enough to sit on the ground, but it's touching it. Oh. I love it. Lifted Corolla. Okay, so I'm working on putting the lift on the front of the Corolla. Went ahead and did the other side. So basically, there's 3 studs in there that you rip out. Well, you don't rip them out, but to put the lift in, you gotta knock them out. You gotta take the strut apart to get to them. And you take these 2 bolts out. And I forgot to record, but you take that out so you can take your brake line off of your strut, because on the 94 Corolla, the brake lines sit in the strut to keep them secure. And sometimes you got to give them a little bit of a love tap. And there's bolt number 1. You just can take your socket, set it back on there. Both of these bolts are 3/4. Just stick a wrench on one side. I've already broken the torque on them, so. And yeah. Take and knock through. And give it a little bit of a wiggle. And that strut basically drops out of there. Be careful not to bang up your brake line. My coil compressor won't fit under the car, so this is the way I've got to do it. Loads of fun. So I've got it set up in the jankiest spring compressor I've ever used in my life. If you got one of these, make sure you lock these pins. So you got to take this apart, and yeah, make sure you lock those pins, because if that coil slides at all, those are the only things going to keep it in. Alright, so I needed both hands to get the strut apart. So you can see that's a very janky way of doing it, not the smart way at all. But I needed both hands, and, well, I recorded with my phone. Anyways, you get the strut apart, then you take all 3 of these little studs out. You hammer them out. They're press fit in. If you have a hydraulic press, probably be a lot easier, a lot faster. And these are the new studs that come with the lift kit. And just look at the length difference on that. So then you just take these. And you drop them in. And then what I like to do is take them and I'll kind of take a socket that I don't care about and set it on there. Take one of those, set it a nut that I don't care about, set it on there. And take the nut for the stud, and then I'll run it down, and that'll suck it through. What did I do with my brain? All right, there. And those studs are just a ½ inch on mine. But mine's not on the original. Not on the original struts. Another problem with cheap tools is you gotta fight them. I just kind of one way or another. Everything is easier with 2 hands. Set this on there like so. And I just start running it down. I won't make you watch this because this is a little time consuming and I'd like to have both hands to do it. One advantage of having a vise is being able to use it for this stuff. Kind of see the stud getting sucked through. Sorry about the crappy camera angles. Well, that's kind of the gist of it. Now that I've got the new longer studs installed on the plate, I'm gonna need both hands again to smack this back together, so I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so now that I've got this reassembled with the longer studs, I'm gonna take the puck, and for the most part it kind of just slides on there, but it is just a hair of a tight fit, which I like. Kind of walk it on there. That being a somewhat of a tight fit, even though it's a polyurethane bushing, will keep it from moving around while you're fighting the strut back into the car, which is nice. I rather like the design. But that's pretty much it. It's going to seat down on there a little bit better, but that's about how that goes on there. All right, so with that spacer on there, you just grab your strut, ignore the mess, and come back over here to your glorious 7th gen Corolla. And begin your annoying reassembly. Now this
It's always just a hair more fun putting it in than it is taking it out. Because you gotta go all the way up in there for your shock tower. The reason I'm going with pucks is I don't have a welder. So I can't relocate the shock towers, I can't modify the subframe or anything like that. So I'm just going with the pucks because, it'll work. Or it won't. Like I said, it's time to get stupid.
So she's not quite done. Got a little bit more tuning to do on the lift kit. But this is the lifted Corolla. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but this car just looks aggressive. Just something about a lifted sedan that just feels right. So, this is why I've been kind of doing everything cheap. And why I've not really been caring about it turning out 100% perfect. So I wanted to lift it, put it on mud tires. Well, here you go. That's kind of the basic plan for the Corolla. I'll throw a roof basket on it. Got the roof racks in the backseat of my GMC right now, but it'll get on there. I need to get the bodywork a little bit closer to done. She's still waiting for final coat of paint. But yeah, lifted Corolla. Had to do it. Dumb rednecks do dumb redneck shit. Like I said, it's time to get stupid.